Hi students, today's notes are going to be on double object pronouns. That means that we're going to use both of our object pronouns, direct and indirect object pronouns, in one sentence. So in Spanish, indirect object pronouns as well as direct object pronouns, they both appear before the conjugated verbs in a sentence. So when we have both in one sentence, we need to figure out which one's going to come first. So always, 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 in a sentence that has both object pronouns, so a DOP and an IOP, the indirect object pronoun will come first. Okay, so for example, la camarera nos trajo el caldo a Juan y a mí. Nos is our IOP, el caldo is the DOP. When we put them both in one sentence, our IOP comes first. La camarera nos lo trajo. Same goes here. In the English sentence, the waitress brought the broth to Juan and me. The waitress brought it to us. So in English, it's a little bit opposite. So make sure that you know in Spanish that your IOP is always going to come before the DOP in a sentence. So just like when we have the two different types of object pronouns alone, when a conjugated verb appears with an infinitive verb or a verb in the progressive, which is the yendo or ando form, you can put the pronouns in one of two places. You can put it before the conjugated verb or put them both before the conjugated verb, or you can attach them to the infinitive or the progressive form. So for example, me los vas a pedir. You could also attach it to the infinitive, vas a pedírmelos. Here, me los estás pidiendo, this is our progressive, or you could say estás pidiéndomelos. Now notice in these two words where we attached our object pronouns, so remember that if you attach a pronoun to a word, you're going to need to add an accent mark to where the vowel was with a stressed vowel. So whatever vowel was stressed when the word didn't have the direct objects is where you're going to keep the stress, so you need to use an accent mark to show that. The next thing that's a little bit strange about these is that if both pronouns start with the letter L, so for example, le and lo, or les and lo, or les and los, anything like that, if both of them start with the letter L, you're going to need to change the indirect object pronoun to se. So no matter what it is, if it's coming from le or les, you change it to se. So for example, le pedí la cuenta al camarero. Le is our IOP, la cuenta is our DOP. Since we would replace la cuenta with la, and we have le, those both start with L, so we're going to change our le to se. Se la pedí. Same goes if we have les, since it starts with L. We have les, and el te would be replaced with lo. So we don't want two pronouns that begin with L in a row, so we're going to change our IOP, les, to se. Puedes llevárselo. So what I want you to do is do the practice on the bottom here. We'll do number 1 together. Make sure you take your time. I would suggest that you circle or underline the DOP and then circle or underline the IOP so that it helps. So we have le and del camarero, that's our IOP. Una chuleta de cerdo is our DOP. So we would replace chuleta de cerdo with la, and this is le. So they both have an L, so we need to change one of them. The other thing we need to keep in mind is that IOPs are always going to come first. So yo sé, we change the le to se. Yo sé la pido. And then you can keep del camarero, but you don't have to. Please go ahead and rewrite the sentences with both pronouns For the rest of these 5, this will be due on Friday.